For years, the people of Adana adored their priest. He was wise, compassionate, and deeply devoted to his faith. If anyone deserved to be bishop, it was him. Then, the decision was made, and his name wasn't called. The man who had dedicated his life to the church had been overlooked, cast aside for another, and just like that, he disappeared. For months, he was nowhere to be found. Some believed he had left the city in shame. Others whispered that he had taken to wandering the graveyards at night, speaking to someone or something that no one else could see. And then, just as suddenly as he vanished, his rival was gone. The newly appointed bishop, the very man who had taken his place, had mysteriously disappeared. No body, no explanation, just gone. And with him out of the way, the priest was granted the position after all. The people celebrated his return. But something was different. His once passionate sermons had become dull, empty. His hands trembled when he held the sacred texts. He refused to step into the church at night. And then, the nightmares began. At first, he kept them to himself. But over time, people started hearing horrifying screams from inside his chambers, whispers of things lurking in the darkness, scratches appearing on the church walls. His health deteriorated. His once strong voice became weak and hoarse. He spent long nights pacing the halls, clutching his rosary so tightly it left deep marks in his skin. He told no one what tormented him, until the final night. As a storm raged outside, he burst into the cathedral, fell to his knees, and began screaming in terror. A confession, a horrifying truth. He had tried to take back what he did, but it was too late. The bells struck midnight, the candles blew out, and when the people arrived the next morning, he was gone. No body, no trace, nothing left except a single sheet of parchment on the altar, signed in blood. When the townspeople approached the altar, their eyes were drawn to the parchment, the only trace of the missing bishop. It was old, weathered, but the ink was fresh. Someone, or something, had signed it. With trembling hands, the priest's apprentice lifted the paper and read the words aloud. "One soul delivered, one soul remains." The church fell silent, and then, from the shadows of the empty cathedral, the bells began to toll. Dong, dong, dong. 12 chimes. Midnight. The exact hour he had disappeared. And somewhere, deep beneath the church, where no footsteps should be, something began to laugh.